I've opened over 80 credit cards in the last 10 years I've been in the credit card industry. These cards have helped me do everything from free vacations to saving hundreds of thousands of dollars on a mortgage. And now heading into 2026, I only have 14 of these cards open. In today's video, we're gonna dive into exactly what these cards are and what my overall strategy is for credit cards in the new year. Card number 1. The American Express Platinum. Specifically, my version here is the Charles Schwab version. Now, this card is my bougie travel card, meaning I use it when I want to get access into Centurion lounges as well as Delta Sky Club lounges when I fly. And what I love about this card is that I can still get 1.1 cents for every cashback redemption if I transfer the points here into my Schwab account. And sometimes if you're not doing a ton of travel, that's not necessarily a bad way to use your points. In addition, I love this card for its purchase protection as well as return protection. And lastly, the American Express Platinum right now is an absolute no-brainer for me because it effectively pays me close to $1,000 a year just to have the card. Yeah, that's right. Even though the annual fee is $895, I get enough benefit from these credits that I am effectively paid almost a G for it. Card number 2. This card is the American Express Gold. Unlike the Platinum, this is nothing to do with bougie travel. This is purely my eating card. With getting 4x on groceries as well as 4x on restaurants, it's an absolute no-brainer to have this every time I consume food or want to buy food. In addition, being in Boston and having that $84 Dunkin' credit, no brainer. Now, I will want to say with both the American Express Gold and the Platinum, there are pretty large sign-up bonuses available, but they're kind of non-public and you do need to find them. What I mean by that is the Gold right now has a sign-up bonus where you can get publicly 60,000 points for a 6K spend in 6 months. The Platinum is publicly available at its 80,000 points for $8,000 to spend in 6 months. However, for both of these cards, there's actually way more elevated non-public bonuses at an all-time high, going as high as 100,000 points for the Gold and 175,000 points for the Platinum. The trick is you just have to be able to find a working link. And with both bonuses, I definitely wouldn't sleep on that. Now, since you follow me, I actually do have working links to both of these more elevated all-time high bonuses in the description box down below. The one pro tip I want to give you when you're considering either the Gold or the Platinum is that you want to get the Gold first and then the Platinum because that way you can get both bonuses. However, if you get the Platinum card first, you're going to be ineligible to get a bonus from the Gold, all right? So keep that in mind. Card number 3, we have the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant. This is a very tactical card, not really using it for the spend, but this card gives me 25 Elite Night credits that help me further qualify for Marriott status. In addition, the card automatically comes with Marriott Platinum status. So if you don't want Titanium, you're good to go. But I want Marriott Titanium because Marriott Titanium status gets me United Silver. And because I don't fly United, this is a much easier way for me to get that status. And all that allows me to do is be able to pick an Economy Plus seating, which I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty useful, especially if you're flying Transcon in United. Card number 4. We have the newly launched Atmos Summit card. So this card comes from Alaska Airlines, now it's merged with Hawaiian, but what I love about this card is the fact that this card earns 3x on all spending abroad. I travel a ton. In fact, in 2024, we spent 5.5 months out of the country, a month and a half of which was gallivanting all around Europe. And so this would be probably the easiest no-brainer card for me, especially because Alaska miles are very valuable. In fact, next year, we're actually heading back to Europe with the dog. Specifically, we'll be flying Condor Business. We're gonna redeem for 2 business class seats at a cost of 55,000 Alaska Airlines miles each. In addition, by having the Atmos Summit card, I don't actually have to pay the partner award booking fee, which is I think $12.50. And to round it all out, this came with the hefty bonus of getting 100,000 miles from Alaska, which, as you can see, that's pretty much enough for you to go ahead and get over to Europe for 2 people or potentially round trip. Card number 5. We have the Capital One Venture X. This card's very easy. This is my 2x catch-all card, which means if there isn't a particular category, let's say travel or dining or online shopping that I already have a card for, this is my card. It's just gonna give me 2x on everything. Not to mention, this card effectively, even though it costs $395, it still pays me back $5 just to have it every single year. And a quick pro tip on this card right now, it does have an elevated all-time high offer going for 100,000 points, so don't miss out. When this card was first launched, it came with that, and then it was down to 75,000, and that's where it's been for a very, very long time. But it's really nice to see that it's boosted back up to 100,000 points. Again, guys, for any card offers that I talk about, if I have it, it's gonna be linked in the description box down below. Feel free to check them out. Now, Now, earning 2x catch-all, amazing. But there's a way that you can stack this and earn 10x, 20x, 50x per every single dollar that you spend. And it's this website, free to use, called Rove. You can go on there and book hotels, flights, and shopping. And for some of these hotels, I'm seeing 50x miles per every single dollar spent. And what's incredible is the Rove miles act exactly like miles from Chase, American Express, or Capital One, where you can take them and transfer them to an airline or a hotel partner. And I'll give you a crazy pro tip right now. You could fly to Europe right now for 88 miles. Yes, 88. The only catch is you need to use Lufthansa's program to book. And the problem is no major credit card program transfers to Lufthansa. That is, except Rove. Now, Rove is not a credit card, it's just a travel portal, but you can take the Rove miles and you can transfer them one-to-one direct to Lufthansa and make these bookings, or really any bookings you want with any of these partners that they have here. So I reached out to Rove and got an exclusive offer. So right now, there's a bonus when you sign up for a Rove account where you just get 500 miles. Anyone can get that. I went out and got an exclusive non-public offer just for my followers where you can get 1,500 Rove miles just for signing up. All you need to do is go ahead and click the link in the description box down below. Card number 6, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now this card for me over the years has gotten progressively not as good. Actually, no, I'm just saying, I don't know why I have this card. It got recently refreshed. The annual fee went up. The benefits weren't that great. And it also lost a great category earning, which was 3x on travel, out the window. And so why do I still have the card? That's a really good question. One reason is because I still have a ton of Chase points and I kind of got grandfathered in to still being able to redeem my Chase points for a little bit higher value. And that really actually is the only thing that's keeping me there. And that, as well as being able to transfer my Chase points to Hyatt. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have that much of a use for the card. Its earnings categories are and there's just not a whole ton of bells and whistles outside of the transferable currencies. All right, we're on to card number 7. This is gonna be the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Why I keep this card around? Well, it's really because it's my second credit card ever and I don't wanna cancel it. That's it. I got it all the way back in 2012, 2013 when I was in college. And back then, phenomenal, getting 1.5% cash back on everything, no need to think about it. But now with my Venture X at 2x catch-all, it's really not a card I pull out all that often. In fact, if at all, I just kind of charge my $5 purchase for an Amazon gift card on it every single month to make sure I'm still kind of using it, and that's it. Card number 8, we have the Discover It. Why do I keep this card around? Well, this is my first credit card I ever opened when I was in college. And so when it comes to credit cards and credit score, you just never want to close your first one ever. Second one can be okay, but because my Discover and my Chase Freedom Unlimited were open so long ago, they're no annual fee and it's easy enough for me to remember. I keep them open. I just charge a $5 Amazon gift card to it every single month. I have it set on auto pay. Don't have to think about it, but I want to protect my average length of credit history by having such old accounts. Card number 9, we have the Bilt Mastercard. This card you're probably wondering why I have, because it's known as the rent card and I don't rent because I own our properties. I have a bunch of multi-families in Boston actually. Well, part of the reason is because Bilt is such a valuable currency for me. If I can earn 3x Bilt points on dining, I can take those Bilt points, I can transfer. It used to be American Airlines, but now American is no longer. We have Japan Airlines on there as well as Hyatt. So when I feel like, hey, I've had a ton of American Express points already, remember I'm getting 4x on the gold, then where can I build of a balance? Well, I'd rather build off of Chase as well as Bilt because of the Hyatt partnership, and then Bilt actually takes the cake for me with Japan Airlines and some of its flight partners, as well as, guys, let's talk about rent day, where sometimes you're getting a bonus of 100% on transferred points. That's insane. And the other thing you wanna note about the Bilt card is mortgages are literally right around the corner. Sometime in Q1 it's coming out. And so today, if you rent, you'd kind of be silly to not have a credit card that gets you points for paying rent. Keep in mind, Bilt Mastercard, $0 annual fee. Next year, if you rent or just own a home, you'd be silly to not get points for having a card. Now, we don't know the specifics of how that card's gonna shape up, but trust me, these are probably your largest mandatory expenses every single month. You might as well earn something for it, and that's what gets me super excited about the card heading into next year. Card number 10. Now we're in the category of my business credit cards. This is a little hard to see, but this is my American Express Business Platinum. I'll be real, last year, card was solid. I had some use out of it, the Dell credits and some of the other business credits. This year, yeah, I don't really know why I have it open still. When I first opened it, it was a massive 250,000 point sign up bonus, which absolute no-brainer. I'm jumping on it. And now, though, the real use case I have is if I have any business purchases that are gonna go over $5,000, it'll get me 1.5x, but even then, a little bit of a stretch. To be perfectly honest, I should probably consider closing out this card, especially because some of its travel benefits are duplicated with the personal platinum I have already. I think I've just kept it open, well, at least for over 1 year. When you open American Express business credit card, or rather American Express any credit card, do not close it within 12 months. You close it within 12 months, they're gonna claw back those bonus points. So I've had it now for I think 14 or 15 months. And so I guess I could be good to just kind of close it. Got the points, good to go. Card 11, we have the American Express Marriott business card. The reason I use this is the exact same reason as the Bonvoy Brilliant personal card that I have from Marriott, to get closer to titanium elite status. By having this card, it gives me 15 elite nights. By having the Bonvoy Brilliant, it gives me 25. So I start with 40 elite nights, which makes it that much easier for me to get titanium. That is the only reason I have this card. Card number 12, we have the Capital One Venture X business card. Exact same thing as the personal, but now on the business side, 2x catch-all. So if I have any business expense that isn't a category that is gonna get me a bonus, let's say it's not advertising or shipping, I just put it on this, 2x catch-all, easy. Card number 13, the Chase Inc. Unlimited. Why did I open this credit card? Bonus, that's it. Great sign-up bonus. I was giving out 90,000 points just a month ago, and I want a stash of Chase points to be able to transfer to Hyatt. Card 14, the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. This card is for small business purchases, specifically when I am traveling. I'm on the road, I'm going to conferences, I'm going to go meet other creators, I'm going to talk to brands. This giving me my 3x for travel, absolute no-brainer. Now those were the 14 credit cards I keep in my wallet, or really I keep some in my wallet, most of it in my Apple Wallet, and some of them just at home. But I obviously keep other things in my wallet. I've got my driver's license, of course, but there's 2 other cards I want to tell you about which I think are very special. So the first one is going to be my Charles Schwab debit card. This debit card has saved me so many times. It's probably my most used card that I actually physically take out and use, especially when I travel. The reason being, when I go and travel, I literally can take money from any ATM, anywhere in the world, domestic, abroad, doesn't matter. I pay no fees. Charles Schwab reimburses me for everything. Meaning, you land in the Philippines, you land in Manila, you need pesos, you go to the sketchy looking ATM, you're like, oh my gosh, this fee is outrageous. You might think twice about it. I don't care because Charles Schwab reimburses me. This literally is probably the best tool that I can have for a traveler, and so jump on it. The way you want to is open a Charles Schwab brokerage account, and then it's gonna be able to allow you to go ahead and open a checking account. It gives you this debit card. It's free, there's no annual fee. It is an absolute no-brainer. Do not sleep on this, all right? I can't tell you the amount of times where I've been with friends, we're traveling, like, hey guys, I really need to go to a Bank of America ATM. Oh, I think there's one like 3 miles that way, and I'm like, or instead of you doing that, why don't you just Venmo me and I can just go to this random ATM in the 7-Eleven, which is 10 seconds away, get my money. I don't really care they charged me a $5 fee because Charles Schwab has got my back. The second card, and it's really not a card, it's more of a device, it's not sponsored by them, there's this thing called a tile card. All you do is shove this in your wallet. So literally, I put this in my wallet, and then if I ever lose my wallet, I have an app on my phone and it'll alert me where my wallet is. Game changer. The amount of times I've lost my wallet, kind of embarrassing to be perfectly honest, especially as a person who talks about credit cards often, but this has absolutely saved me. And so there's a little button here, and if I click, yeah, well, it's obviously louder than that. I think I beeped it and it's connected to my phone, so it told me where my phone is. So I guess it works in both ways, but usually I ping it on my phone, it tells me where my wallet is. All right, and this now has been the video. Folks, as you can see, we've got a ton of cards. Very tactical with some, and for some, it's really actually used for spending, right? And as you can see, my overall strategy with credit cards is there's gonna be a core 4 or 5 that cover my spending, and the rest are very tactical, whether it's for sign-up bonuses, whether it's for lounge access, whether it's for elite status. That I think is really where you can customize, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have our base spending for food, for travel, for housing. But then some of us, hey, listen, let's say I love staying at Marriott and I love flying United. Well, there's a very tactical way to get status without maybe having to do the full spend on it. And that's what I want you to think about when you start building your credit portfolio or your credit cards as you head into 2026. And as always, folks, if you are interested to support the channel, if you want to check out some of the top offers that are heading into 2026 right now, go ahead in the link in the description box down below, take a peep, and comments, questions, always there as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.